Hey y'all, this is Glory coming to you on Sunday, January 15th, 2017. Can't believe half the month's already gone by. Seems like time flies by so fast after you get older, which I'm 53. I'll be 54 in September. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of videos. A lot of them just funny. A lot of our people's been passing away. I've had a lot of people that I've known just in my personal life that has passed on. And a couple of the YouTubers, one of them that, I was subscribed to her, but the other people I wasn't. But still, it's sad. And it always, comes down to um, the old saying and stuff, here today, gone tomorrow. We never know what life holds. So that's why I've always learned to be thankful for every minute that I have. I'm holding this up, so it may be a little bit shaky. Um, I'm not going to talk so much about weight loss today. Trying to broaden my horizons, and um, I hope a lot to just encourage somebody that's dealing with a lot of the issues. Weight, for one, mental health issues, physical health issues. It's rough all the way around. I have dealt with depression since I was a small child. And I think I was, I don't know, 13, 14. First time that it was ever officially diagnosed what was wrong with me. I was in school and I'd had a really rough year. Um, my mom and dad argued constantly because daddy was so jealous of my mother. She was 22 years younger. And he constantly accused her of getting out and, doing things. And she didn't. She always stayed at home. She was true to him, even though, to me, he had been hard as hell to stay true to him because he was just so old, so cranky and hateful. Um, but like I was saying, getting back to where I was in school, and I remember we just had a big spelling test, which I was sure I aced it. I was in eighth grade, and I went back to our regular homeroom, and I sat down, and all of a sudden, I just got choked up emotionally. I couldn't say a word, could not say a word, and tears just started flowing, and I just felt basically, I remember the feeling is kind of like a tea kettle, just before the whistle starts, how the pressure builds up, but the pressure wouldn't release. And I remember they called my parents to come and get me. And I don't know exactly what they told them, but I know my mom had my dad take me on over to the doctor's office. And the doctor had asked, and what was going on and all that. And I don't quite remember what was said. I think my mother did a lot of talking, and he had told me what I had experienced was a breakdown. I don't recall if it called a mental breakdown, emotional breakdown, but it's about as really close to a nervous breakdown. Now, can you imagine being a child that young and having that experience? And, back then, anytime the doctors tried to put me on any medication or anything like that, my mother would always say no. I remember even one time I used to get bronchitis so bad in the winter. I mean, it was horrible. And she wouldn't let me use the inhalers that the doctor prescribed for me. She'd give them to her cousin because he was addicted. Excuse me, let me have a cup of my coffee or a sip. It was really hard growing up. I lived in West Virginia. Grew, let's see, I was 8 years old when we moved there. And I was 26 when I moved. Nor 27, I can't remember. It was in 1991 I moved away and moved here to Georgia. I feel like I got a fresh start here. A lot of times there's bits and pieces in my life that I could talk about, and it would make you think, wow. I've talked to a therapist several times because the things that went on in my life, I always felt like it was my fault. I was such a bad person because the things happened to me. Um, Molestation started when I was 3 years old, and it continued off and on until I was almost 16 this summer before I turned 16. Um, it's something that every time a therapist would want me to talk about it, I couldn't because I was so humiliated and so ashamed and felt like it was all my fault. I had, my mother had some family that would come to our house when my mom and dad would leave. And, we as little kids, they'd leave us alone for a day at a time. And they'd go out and do whatever they needed to do and leave us at home. And these men, you don't call them boys, they were men, grown ass men, would do things to me and my sister. Mostly me, though. If they would be fondling, putting their hands inside of my clothes, not just the outside, inside of my clothing, and just humiliate me and, pin me up in a corner or wherever they could get me and touch me and me trying to fight and get away from them. And I felt it was my fault, so I didn't tell nobody. I was scared to because the way my mother was, I know without a doubt she would have blamed me. And God only knows what she'd done to me. Because the one guy that did the things to me from time I was 9 until I was 15, and finally I was 15, he raped me. And my daddy never did know about it. I wouldn't dare tell him because I was too embarrassed, too ashamed. And the day before my dad died, he had asked me, did those guys ever do anything to me and my sister? And I lied, and I said no. He knew the truth. I was just too humiliated to tell him, too embarrassed. But I did tell him about the old man when I was 3 years old, what he did to me. My daddy hadn't a clue. And he said, oh my God. He said, I would have never, ever let him back around if I knew that. So Daddy would have protected me. Where my mother, I don't know if she just didn't care. She didn't know what the outcome would be. But it happened right under her nose. And she didn't say nothing. She just let it happen. But anyhow, if you're a younger person by chance and you see this, if something like that's happening to you, no matter who it is, if somebody is touching you, kissing on you, saying things that are inappropriate, that make you feel uncomfortable, go to somebody that's going to do something that, get you out of harm's way, because sometimes just a touch or words, they lead up to more things, because those people are sick in the head as far as I'm concerned. And they don't think about the consequences of what they're doing to that young person. One of the guy that raped me when I was 15, he's dead now. But I never did have the chance to ask him why he did what he did. And the old man that did his little 2 bits to me, he's dead. I didn't kill them, though. I didn't. They just died of health reasons. But, I think, why would a grown-ass man want to touch a child? Why? There's too many women out there that would welcome the advances. Um, I don't know, maybe I was just an easy target. I was there, I was handy. But I finally learned to not blame myself. Um, I've talked to several people about it and I opened up with some family members. And they just told me, they're like, Glow, it's not your fault. You were a child. And just hearing those words out loud coming from somebody else really made a difference. So if you know of somebody or if you're one of those people, don't let it ruin your life. Don't let it dictate what kind of person you're going to be. I spent several years on the loose doing things I should have never done because I thought those advances and things happening, it was just repeating the abuse I went through years and years and years ago. Those days are over. I see now where it's got me. Thank God I've got a new husband, a new start, and two awesome children that I love with all of my heart. It's been 3 years now we've been a family. And our anniversary, which was just this past week, I told my kids, I said, well, I don't look at it as much a wedding anniversary. This is a family anniversary. And Haley said, well, ain't no such thing. I'm like, there is now. Okay, well, I went almost 12 minutes. I hope they'll post this for me. But you guys have an awesome day. And, if you ever need just to talk, whatever, about anything, give me a holler. I'm on Facebook too. Love you. Talk to you later. Bye.